What's going on, guys? So welcome to joint hardening. We're gonna get some kung fu joints going on. We're gonna first start with our feet though, and with our feet I just want to briefly describe that it's almost like a tripod. You got the two ball parts of the foot right here, and then you got that heel part of the foot. This is your tripod, and it's gripping the ground like a claw. And so what would really help is if you get like a step that is like just half of your shin height perhaps, or like about the equivalent of 2 steps. So this is going to be helpful because we can press weight into different parts of our foot from like a bent leg position without bending into our body weight. So it's just a step, a progression below if we're going to do this with our body weight. So we'll first do this, and then I'll show you just doing with the body weight. So essentially we want to warm up the knee like this. So we're going to come into some lateral flexion of this hip. So bringing our torso closer to this hip, dropping down. See how low you can get? Alright, you can play around with the length that you go. You can get some like pulsing into it like this. And pressing out against that heel so our whole foot is on the ground. The ball of the foot and the heel is really connected, and I want you to start to make some circles like this. So you're essentially bringing a little bit of hip flexion into it, but it's mostly with the knee. And you'll notice that your heel is kind of moving a little bit, adjusting. And you're really going to start to enforce even more into just those 2 parts of the ball of the foot. So lift the heel a little bit. Do it with just the heel lifted. And you'll see even more range of motion. You see like this whole structure of your foot, like that heel is actually moving, but the balls of the feet are staying in the same place. So if you actually look real closely, maybe you can pause and zoom in right here, and then pause and zoom in right here. Get it from this view. Pause and zoom in. Pause and zoom in. So you see pretty clearly that your heel is changing position, but your ball of your foot is staying in the same spot. Now the only way that could work is if you had an anatomical structure that allows this to do that pivoting motion between the front of the foot and the back of the foot. So if you look at a foot sculpture or a anatomical model, you can definitely find that out. But what we'll do, getting back into it, is just repeat everything that I'm going to do on the other side. Essentially, I'm just going to show both sides, or we're just going to do all the movements using both sides. Alright, so we got that movement. We can plant that heel, and then we can start to pivot a little bit. So we can do the flexion, start to pivot a little bit, flexion. We can get deeper into it. You can lift that heel. You can lift the toes. You can go on the ball of the foot and lift the toes. So playing around with the plasticity of the foot is really fun. Then angle it out like this. Alright. So we got all these different angles. press into all those different angles like a windshield wiper. And then what we can do is we're going to do it just on the heel as well. And you'll just notice the different ways that your muscles activate, and also just how your balance feels. It obviously feels good to be full foot, but it's actually a lot better if we can, in terms of mobility, if we lift that heel, right? Because then we can actually go a little bit deeper. We don't have to worry about our flexibility here. As we go forward, we can start to lift it. And that heel position, again, it can change. Alright, so all those angles, full foot, ball of the foot, and heel only. Alright, once we do that, we can go to the top of the foot, press gently into it, and you can press along the different angles, and then press onto the sides of the feet, just gently. Press onto this side of the foot, press on this way, and this way. So it's like the edges of the feet now. It's like if you were to roll your ankle, how strong is your ankle, right? So we're just playing with the different fascia and the structures, and just putting a little pressure gently, not even body weight, just a little bit, one progression away, and then going into body weight. So with body weight, what we're gonna do is we can start squatting, and we can just start using our hands to support. We can lift those heels like this, and then start to play around with pressing like this, side to side, the knees, and then the heels will follow. Alright, and then just the heels, do the sides of the feet like this. Alright, so that's one body weight position, and then standing. And again, we can take a lunge position, go into it like this, lift that heel. We can go into it side of the foot like this, gently coming in here, and we can go into it like this. That's one body weight progression, and then the final body weight progression is just straight up and down like a squat. We're just standing on it, squatting on it. You can do 1 foot squats. So there's different progressions. You can hold on to something too, and I want you guys to explore all those at your own pace. Start very gently and just go through all of it. That'll get your foot, your ankle, your shin, your knee, all those structures, even a little bit your hips. It'll get them all opened up and just stronger, Kung Fu style. Peace.